What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going over why you aren't ranking up in Rainbow Six Siege. Before we go any further, links to all my socials in the description below, so make sure you go check those out. Now, for some reason, in this game of Rainbow Six Siege, people only care about a couple things: the rank and their KD. I've made videos on how to increase both of those, but today we're going to be talking about why you might not be ranking up as fast as you'd like, or just at all. Now, the first thing is going to be your mechanics, your aim, your movement, all that. Because ranked is not super strategic, in my opinion, unless you're like in Plat 2 or above and you're playing against other coordinated stacks. Like if you play against the TSM stack or SSG stack, it's going to be more strategic, more coordinated. Rather, if you're just playing in like gold 2 with a bunch of random people, you're going to be a lot more gun heavy and movement heavy, not really shields, Jaeger ADSs with my magnets, my showcams, Goyo, all that stuff, all that utility, all that coordination. There might be some, but in the end, it's mainly going to be about your aim and your movement, so making sure you improve those. I also have a video on improving both of those, so make sure you check that out. The second tip is going to be your teammates. Now, taking a step back from that, first off, don't solo queue, because if you're trying to solo queue, the odds of you winning every game is going to be very, very low, or just ranking up in general. Now, there are people like my friend Magnus who can solo queue to Diamond or Plat 1 or some crazy high rank because he's just different, okay? He has super good aim and all that other stuff. And to be quite frank, when you are solo queuing, you need to be really lucky. You need to be lucky as a player to get your good teammates. Because out of the millions of people that play this game, when you solo queue, you get matched with 4 of them. Those could be ex-bronze players who got really good placements and are now in gold, or they can be ex-champ players who are just throwing to have fun and are now silver. It can be across any scale of skill, and that's why it makes it very, very difficult to consistently win or rank up or do anything while you solo queue. If anything, you consistently lose, or you lose maybe 2 games and win 1, that type of ratio, just because of you lack the coordination, and quite frankly, you can just lack the skill in your teammates that you need to win. But now let's say that you aren't solo queuing, you are queuing with people. You need to queue with good people. It seems like a really obvious tip, but if you have a friend who's like super bad or whatever, and you feel like when you play with them, you lose a lot and they're the main reason, then you can do 2 things. One, you can drop them and just not play with them. But if you would feel bad about that and you want to play with them, either get a Smurf account or stop caring about ranked, or just like play unranked or play casual with them to teach them the game, teach them like, oh, you shouldn't be staring at the floor, you should stare at their head or where their head will be. It's very annoying when you have a really nice and good friend of yours, but they're bad, and then you end up losing your game. So at that moment, you decide what's more important, that friendship or your elo. And that sounds like a really stupid question, but a lot of people will choose to play with better people who are their friends or make new friends and care about their elo. What I personally am going to do is buy a Smurf account to play with my friends, or just to solo queue on, and then a different account to 5-stack with my my better friends on, I guess you could say. But that is something that you will have to consider while you are trying to rank up. My next tip is going to be about playing to learn. Now, this could be from anything from noticing how you died and how you could have changed it, to VOD reviewing. Maybe you record your gameplay, you submit it to somebody like A21 Mayo, for example, to review it, or you review it yourself. And in the moment, you might have been like, there's no way I could have won that. But when you watch it back, you see, okay, I completely potatoed on 2 people and then missed my C4, something like that. That's not their fault. That's my fault. I'm trash. I got to go back to tip 1 and work on my movement, my mechanics, everything like that. Because in this game, the way you improve is by not dying the same way twice. And basically, you just need to learn every time you die. For example, yesterday, I played a TM. I died 9 times, and I was able to remember 8 of the ways I died and how I could have fixed it. Now, a couple months ago, I might have not been able to do that, but because I've been playing to learn and like really realizing why I lost or why I died, I'm able to kind of recall from 8 rounds ago how I died, the exact situation, and what I could have done differently, and that's how you improve at this game. My last tip is going to be about your ego. This kind of goes back to your teammates. This is a team game where there are 5 players on each team, and if you can't work well with other people, they're 1, not going to want to play with you, or 2, you're going to start blaming them because you think you're the greatest player to touch this game, and then basically you're just going to get dropped from the stack because you're toxic and you have a huge ego. This kind of goes back to my previous tip about playing to learn. because all people care about is their rank and their KD a lot in this game. That's what most people care about. But this is a team-based game, and you need to realize that most of the time there is blame to go on to every other teammate, including yourself. I feel like lots of people will be like, wow, my teammates are so trash. How can they possibly have lost that? I do the same thing sometimes, but a way to also kind of incorporate this into playing to learn is to realize what you could have done differently. It's like, yeah, 2 of my teammates got spawn peaked, but then I whiffed on an easy 3K, which would have put us up in the man advantage or evened it out or anything like that. There's always something to learn. It's not always one person's fault. Yes, if somebody loses a 1v1, you could be like, wow, it's their fault. They need to win that 1v1. But how did it get to that 1v1? Oh, that's right. It was a 3v1 and 2 of your teammates jumped out the window. 1 got killed by a claymore, 1 hit a nomad and then got shot. So there's plenty of blame to go around throughout the whole round, from the first second of prep phase to the last second of the round. There's always enough blame to go around, and you have to take some blame yourself. But then also, it's okay to realize what others could have done differently, or what they missed at, or what they did incorrectly, and then learn from that. Like, okay, this kid just got fried. I probably should not hold that angle, because that's a super common one. Something like that. But that's pretty much all I'll say for this video. Quickly recapping. If you're just bad mechanically, that's the main thing about ranked. It's pure mechanics a lot. So work on your aim, your movement. I have videos on that as well. Find good teammates. If you have friends that aren't super good, either get a Smurf account or play only unranked or casual with them, and then try and find better teammates. For solo queuing, just don't, pretty much. It's going to be very inconsistent, going to be very difficult to win, and you're most likely going to end up losing elo. Play to learn. Every time you die, notice what you could have done differently, and the next time you're in a situation like that, see how you adjust and how you can improve. And then the last tip was drop your ego. This is a 5-player game. There's plenty of blame to go around. Just because you have a 1.2 KD in Gold 1, you're not the greatest player to touch this game. So just calm down, buddy. Learn and get better, and try and help your teammates around you. Well, that's pretty much all for this video. If you learned something or enjoyed, remember to like and subscribe. All my socials are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and peace out, gamers.